Component 3 mark, and this is mark 4, and we're on to question 2 now. So just a 6 marker, and here's an experiment in which 14 CO2 was applied to a single leaf of a plant, and it was kept in the light, and then they checked to see where the 14C had gone to. Okay, so 14 CO2 here is radioactive, which means it behaves just like CO2, normal CO2, apart from if we put a photographic film next to it, it'll make it go black, so we can just follow where it goes. And here's our nice little diagram, and we can see the leaf, we can see the roots, and we can see a bit of something growing at the top of the stem. It's told us that we are keeping this in the light. So why have they told us that? We are hopefully realizing that in the light a plant or a leaf would photosynthesize and turn this carbon dioxide into something else. So in photosynthesis you would have CO2 and water going to sugars, C6H12O6, oxygen, there we are, and our oxygen there, so sugars, glucose and oxygen. So it's in the light. So our 14 CO2 would just turn into sugars, just like in photosynthesis. State the name of the substance in which the 14C would be transported in the stem. So even though from in photosynthesis you're making glucose, it's not actually transported as glucose, it's transported not as a monosaccharide glucose but as a disaccharide sucrose, which is the answer there. It says state, so just tell us the name. Don't tell us anything else, just state the name, sucrose. And that's how it's transported around the plant. Sucrose is what you have in kind of sugar cubes and things like that. So you can find it in plants. Part B, explain how the results demonstrate that bidirectional flow occurs in the stem. So what does bidirectional? Well, monodirectional would be just one way. Bidirectional means both ways. And it's told us we are applying this to a leaf. Yeah. And the radioactivity in the leaf is very high, as you might imagine, 2.5. Where has this radioactivity gone? It's gone, seems to have gone all over the plant. It's at the top there, 3.24, and there's some at the bottom down there. So does this sucrose just go in one direction, either up or down the plant? No, it goes both up from the leaf and down from the leaf, and that's the answer. So there's 14 carbon detected, so radioactivity at the top of the stem and at the roots, but it's come from halfway, but has come from the middle. So it must have gone both ways. We're explaining how it's bidirectional. C1, explain the relatively high value of 14C found at the top of the stem. There's actually more than at the leaves. It's as if the radioactivity has gone to the top of the stem for some reason. This is because the top of the stem is the place where we have got growth occurring. Sugars will go to where the plant is growing or storing sugar or converting it into starch, and so that's one of our places where growth is occurring. So this is a growing point. Why are we needing sugar there? Well, sugar does all sorts of kind of active processes. ATP is needed, respiration, and the sucrose is going to contribute to our substrate for respiration. It's going to get turned back into glucose and then be used in respiration. So ATP needed from respiration. We need energy for growth, and our carbohydrate is the substrate for respiration. And then just to make it all add up, usually state the general name given to areas where unloading of carbohydrate occurs. And it goes from a source to a sink. And this was in one of the other mock papers as well, mentioning sources and sinks. So this, where unloading occurs at the sink. That's 6 marks.